Hey, how's it going, fellow INFJ folks? That's not the intro. Still working on it. But I came across this article, so like I said in my intro video, I'm in the discovery of what it is to be an INFJ. And just looking up on it, I'm finding a lot of interesting stuff, and of course it's all relating to me and giving me some understanding. Having that INFJ perspective and knowing that there's other people out there like me, that connectedness, So being that, like, I struggled just before I go into this article. The struggle that I have is, like, on my other YouTube channels, I do a lot of editing. Like, I started YouTube in the Nija age, so there's a lot of chopping, like, to just keep it quick and flowing like that. So we're in an age now after where people are more just allowing themselves to speak and let their thoughts be seen. And like one of the other INFJs that I watched, she said it's more authentic. And I get that, and I think that's cool that people allow others to see their struggle and to go through their thought process and all of that type of stuff. It's just like sitting there in front of somebody communicating in a way. It's almost live, but not live, That's the way I see it. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. And if you hear a noise in the background, I'll probably try to edit it out, but the neighbor's been mowing the lawn for quite a while. So hopefully you don't hear it when I edit the audio. But anyway, so the website that I got this article from is called introvertdear.com. And it's talking about parenting. The title is The Strengths and Challenges of the INFJ Parent. I'm an INFJ parent, so of course I was like, oh yeah, let's check this out. I am a father and parent of, 7 children. 4 that are mine, and the other 3 are, stepchildren, but I never look at them that way. Like, it's been, 12 years pretty much since me and my wife has been together. And a lot of the ages range in the same area. Like, so my oldest is 21, her oldest is 20. Then she has twin daughters who are 15. Then my second oldest is 16. Then the boy after that is 15. So we got 3 15-year-olds and a 16-year-old. Then our youngest together, he's 11. So that's 7 kids. So of course it wasn't always the easiest, and it wasn't always difficult. Alright. And I think it had to do with my parenting style. I look at my parenting style. And alright. So before I get into this again, I want to give you a little bit of background of where I see myself. So I didn't grow up with a father. My mom, she wasn't really engaged. She's an introvert herself. And my whole childhood, we never had any conversations where we just sat down and talked. It wasn't like that. She just basically let me raise myself in a way. And she provided food and shelter. And I did everything. But then what my father was abusive, so I'm glad I got out of that situation. Didn't have to be raised in that. But there was still some alcoholism, and after my mom became sober, she later on got married to a Marine who was like her love from a younger adult. So they got married, and he was around, and he was a Marine, so he had a lot of that mentality to like be strict on me, do this and do that. And so that kind of helped me develop these skills and techniques that I kind of use as a parent. But anyway, so when I got into high school, back in my day, it was like the mid 90s when I was in high school, and I was in shop class. I did not like shop class one bit, but then there was home ec was the only other class that you could take. And at that time, there was no males in home ec. And I went to the administration. I was like, can I please get out of this shop class? Like, I don't really like it at all. And they're like, well, home ec is the only other class, and they do a lot of cooking and sewing and child raising and child development and that type of stuff. And I was like, yeah, what's your point? It's like, you don't mind doing that? I was like, well, I'm probably going to become a parent some point in my life, and sewing and all, and cooking and all this other stuff would probably be good for me to know, right? And they're like, huh, yeah. It's like, but you'll be the only boy in there and the first ever in the school. I was like, well, I don't care. It's like, I don't care that I'll be the only male in there. I was like, it's stuff that's interesting to me and that I feel I need to know. I'd rather do that than shop. So they put me in there. And of course, what they had in shop was those child development. So you get the egg. I remember the egg the first year, then the flower bag was the second year, and then the electronic baby, then there's something else in the fourth year. So all 4 years, I was learning all these techniques and getting comfortable with it and trying to get an A because I wanted to be good. And all of the other skills and how to communicate, I really wanted to do that. And one of the things that was really good that home ec teacher did was like had us really envision and install in our mind when we would become parents. Like, and we're supposed to play out everything that we're going to do until we become a parent. Okay, so I didn't really think fully of what it was. So, like, well, I was thinking after high school, I'm going to go to college. And after college, then about 21, I should be good to start a family. All right. Well, stuff happened. I didn't get to finish my college degrees, and 21 came around and I became a father. So then at that point, like, I started taking parenting classes again. We did parenting classes with the first mom, and I did a little extra, and I was like really focused on relearning everything and learning what more there is. So I did that with the first and the oldest. Then I did it with the second group of boys that I had with another mom. And I did parenting and all that type of stuff. And then even with the last kid, with my current wife, with my wife who I'm currently with. I only been married once. But so like I had those learnings, but also like what I really try to do with all the kids is learning the behaviors, learning how to be an educator, learning how the brain works, learning all sorts of different things and how to communicate well with my kids and understanding them and making it individual based type of parenting, because they're all individuals. So I really try to focus on who they were individually and how to nurture them and how to speak to them, So I learned, like, I was like obsessive about all that type of learning and trying to be not necessarily the best parent that I could, but I wanted to be prepared as possible. And of course, being a parent, you can never be as prepared as you need to be. And that was the thing that I realized with the first, then the second two, then of course, and then when we got all 7 of them, it was tough. But a bad thing that I did, and I kind of regretted it, but like with the first mom, like she struggled really bad. So I took it upon myself. I was like, well, you don't need to worry about this. I'll take care of everything. And I did that with the second mom. Then I started to do this with my wife in a way too, where like I was trying to help them. Like, all right, this is what it says to do. And this is why the kids are acting this way and what we should do. And I don't know, I think it was because it was coming from me and the way I was saying it and communicating with the mothers is where the problem was. They didn't want to hear it. They felt like I was talking down to them in a way. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, so it was like really problemsome in a way at how obsessive I was about becoming a mindful parent, and it was problemsome. And I believe those are strengths and challenges that I've had in my parenting. So then that's why this article connected with me. And like in the beginning, so now I'm talking about the article, okay? So it says the strengths and challenges of the INFJ parent, and it talks about the introversion, and not so much. Like it says parents have a problem about being introverted because they lack the connection, and I always felt like I had this good foundation of how you're supposed to take care of yourself. So like if you don't take care of yourself first and treat yourself the best, then it's gonna lack in how you treat others. So I always felt it was necessary for me to take time and do what I needed to do personally, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Then when I started lacking on things is when I started not feeling so well about myself. And yeah, but so I'm just saying, like, the introversion part was never really a problem with me and my kids, because I was made sure and communicated with them. Man, I used to be motivational with them, like going to school bright early in the morning, driving them to school. And I was like, who's going to have a great day? Me. And making sure they're engaged and what do you call, doing incantations with them where they're like giving the words power with their energy. So I'd make sure and do that. And I don't know, I just felt I was like doing really well. And then there's another thing about intuition, just like knowing what your kids are going through. That just talks a little bit about different stuff, but picking up on your radar. It's supposed to be like a motherly thing, but I've always had that intuition. And I think really everybody has that intuition. It's just about owning in on that. My main light is going dim. Hold on for a second. I'm trying to be as authentic as possible. Alright, so I just use these because they're like little $20 lights, and I put a pillowcase around it to diffuse the light. These are only $20 lights from Home Depot or any place like that. I think I got these from Home Depot. I'm not sure. But I just set it up on one of my other light stands because I do got studio lights. Because I do documentary filmmaking. And of course then I got my vlog channel where I do that. Alright, so I got that set up. Thank you all for bearing with me. Alright. Let me get a drink of water. But the main part about this article was the judging part. And that's where it hold the standards. And like that was my issue too with the other parents, the other mothers, is that like they needed to follow this way because it's the most beneficial for the kids and their development as human beings, and helps them cognitively. And so like a lot of my teaching was like asking questions, not telling them what to do or they should do, but asking them so they can, give power behind whatever choice and thought that they have. It's like, well, is this what I do? And I was like, yeah, and how would that play out? They're all open-ended questions. A lot of them are relevant questions, but it's the point of getting them there because that's part of educating too. Like picking something in their brain and attaching knowledge to it, but then affirming their choices. So I feel that's why a lot of my boys, they're like really insightful that way. And my daughters, there's a little bit of restrictions on them and feeling that way and not liking that way. But like my standards, I see it as minimum standards, but they're ground rules, It's like really, really simple for me coming from being raised by a Marine in a way, having those minimum standards is all as you do is pick up after yourself, make sure you clean yourself, make sure you help around the house, then you got a couple of chores, which is like do the dishes. Everyone has a dish day, and then help out with the yard every now and then. And that's basically all it is like really, really simple versus when I was a kid. I had to do all of that and then some. And plus I kept my room clean every week. I've always arranged it and I was pretty much like a germaphobe. So to have all my kids like some of them are germaphobes too, but a lot of them like just making stains and leaving it, and it's frustrating. And they see like the daughters like try and get on me and be like, well, you need to chill. Like, no, like you need to take care of this. You shouldn't be allowing yourself to live like this or dwell like this or let people come in our family and do the same things. Like that's unhealthy. It's like, because all of these skills that you're learning right now is going to help you be a better adult and strive to be better and learn more and never be content with where you're at, that you see the potential in yourself to become better than me. Like I'm the minimum standard. Like you got to be way better than me, basically. And like, yeah, so, and I know, and I just get judgmental like it, and that's where my frustration, and I get upset with them because they don't follow those simple things to do as a family member. Like basically that's what this article was about, just talking about the intuition and the feelings that you have and that connection and the judgmental part. And like I'm judgmental, but I'm like really, really affirming to them when they do follow through, and I reward them in individual ways. Yeah, I don't know how's your teaching methods, or what is something different that you do? Are you what do you call a strict one? What gets you upset? How many kids you have? I bet you think I got a whole bunch of kids. Like, what if there's other INFJs out there who have a whole bunch of kids too? Yeah, we used to call ourselves the Fairbanks bunch. Um, like Fairbanks bunch plus one, like the Brady Bunch, and it's like the same song and story. Here's a story about a band named Comanche, and But anyway, yeah. So that's what I wanted to talk about is the strengths and struggles of being an INFJ parent. I think it's harder raising daughters. Like the boys get me. The daughters, they're more resistant, and they're the ones who like veered off into doing negative things. Like the boys did too, but when I put my foot down, they're like, "Oh, okay." And it took like 2, maybe 3 times, and they start making the right choices. And the girls, not so much. They kept on pushing it for it was like a year and a half, 2 years nonstop, like really nonstop, multiple times a week, just breaking rules constantly on purpose and talking back and talking behind. Like to me, they're almost manipulative because they're doing a lot of down talking about their mom to me. And my thing was like, well, you need to listen to her regardless of how she says it or her tone is. It's like, yeah, we all have a tone. But the point is, she's talking about rules and regulations, and like that's what you should take from it and follow through on it. Anyway, so things happened, and mom stepped up more for me. I just got too stressed out, like really, really bad, because how often they're doing this and nonstop, and it was just getting too much for me. So she stepped in, and now they did the same thing with her about me, like being manipulative. And the problem is where she hears them a little bit more and feeling like I'm being unfair and stuff like that, and I'm being a little too short with them, and like, you don't get it. And that's where my judging comes in too as a parent. Like, you gotta, as parents, we gotta be together. Because if they see separation, and then they're gonna dig at that separation, and oh my God, I get my mind, like I struggle really, really bad with all of this. And I feel like sometimes like I don't know what to do. I don't know how to deal with this. I actually went like weeks without like really communicating or talking with my daughters. Oh, and that's another thing. It's like when I do step out of line, I'm always going down to them and I apologize to them and I talk with them, seeing how they're feeling, like because I really wanted to allow them to be in touch with their emotions and show that I'm in touch with my emotions and my thought process. So I do a lot of apologizing and doing that type of stuff. And the daughters are the only ones who never apologize for anything that they do. They never own up to the things that they've done wrong. They just, turn away from it and try and act like everything's okay a day or so, or within the week anyway. And that's kind of frustrating with me. Like, and I bring it up to them. I bring it up to their mom. Like, that shouldn't be allowed. They should acknowledge it and apologize. It's important. And they have to see their impact on their siblings by them continuing to do what they do, because the siblings follow the rules, and it shouldn't be any different. It shouldn't be unfair for them to follow the rules, but then the girls get treated like it's okay the next day or the next time. I don't know. But that's me being judgmental. My struggles and my challenges as an INFJ parent. All right. Thank you all for watching. Peace out. I don't know how I'm going to end it. Bye.